New disturbing details on the family of 5 found dead inside a home. Asal Rezai brings us the latest from the mobile home park where it happened.
Neighbors here telling me they're shocked to learn the entire family is now gone.
Anybody suffering from mental illness, or if you have family members with mental illness, please get help. Please get help. Don't do this to anybody else.
In the mid-hours of February 21, 2025, a 27-year-old mother of 3 children was found dead in her apartment. On February 21, 2025, at around 2:45 p.m., a concerned neighbor dialed 911 to request a wellness check after feeling uneasy upon noticing something unusual about the family next door. For days, the cars in the driveway hadn't moved, which was really odd. But what truly unsettled the neighbor was the silence inside the home. Something felt off. Just 2 days earlier, the neighbor had overheard the parents arguing, a common occurrence for a while that had never escalated beyond tense words. But this time was different.
They were arguing a lot for the last few days.
When investigators got to the apartment, they were unprepared for what awaited them. They found a mother and her 3 daughters brutally murdered for a senseless reason that was later revealed. This is a very tragic story of Briana Payne and her 3 daughters. 27-year-old Briana Payne was born in 1998 to her mother, Lily Parker Owens. While not much is known about her father, Briana grew up originally in Tampa, Florida. In recent years, she had settled in Lake Station, Indiana, a small town located about 38 miles from Chicago and just outside Gary, Indiana. With a population of approximately 12,000, Lake Station is known for its close-knit, community-oriented atmosphere where neighbors look out for one another and familiar faces are part of everyday life. Residents take pride in the town's strong sense of community, and it's the kind of place where people tend to know each other's names. Briana fit right in with this environment. Described by friends and family as a joyful and vibrant soul, she had a natural ability to bring light and happiness to those around her. Her infectious smile, upbeat energy, and kind spirit left a lasting impression on everyone she met. That same irresistible charm would lead her to start dating a man who would change her life in ways she never could have imagined. At just 19 years old, Briana met 31-year-old Robert Payne. From the moment they crossed paths, there was an undeniable connection between them. They quickly bonded over shared interests, and their chemistry grew stronger with each passing day. What began as a chance encounter soon blossomed into a relationship filled with affection, laughter, and shared dreams. They seemed to complement each other, and together they built a life centered around love, family, and mutual support. Before long, that initial spark ignited a deeper bond that would redefine their future. After dating for a while and growing closer, Briana and Robert decided to take their relationship to the next level by getting married. Their wedding was a beautiful celebration filled with love, laughter, and the joyful presence of friends and family who came together to support and celebrate the couple's union. The ceremony was a heartfelt occasion, reflecting the deep bond they shared. Surrounded by their loved ones, they exchanged vows, promising to build a life filled with love, respect, and mutual devotion. The celebration marked not just the beginning of their marriage, but the start of what Briana hoped would be a bright and promising future together. Briana and Robert were not just partners in love, they were building a family and future together. Their journey wasn't without its challenges, but the bond they shared gave them the strength to face life's ups and downs side by side. And that unbreakable bond soon paved the way for a new chapter in their lives. A few months later, the couple welcomed their baby girl, 7-year-old Aurora Tatiana, whom they affectionately called Twinkle by her grandmother, Lily Parker Owens. Briana immediately embraced motherhood wholeheartedly, dedicating herself to her daughter, who quickly became her entire world. While Briana seamlessly fell into her maternal role, a different kind of adjustment was unfolding at home. Robert, on the other hand, was adjusting to this new chapter in his life. Becoming a father was a completely new experience for him, and he wasn't sure what was expected or how to step into his role. However, despite their young age and the challenges of becoming parents, both Briana and Robert were determined to work together as a team, navigating the ups and downs of parenthood with love and commitment. A few years later, the couple welcomed another baby girl, 6-year-old Ava Denise, lovingly known as Chocolate Drop. According to her grandmother, she smelled of chocolate as a baby. It was just her natural scent. a sweet and special trait that made her nickname all the more endearing. Like her older sister, Ava brought even more love and joy into the Payne household. And Briana once again embraced motherhood with open arms, cherishing every moment with her growing family. And just when it seemed their home was bursting with love, fate had another surprise in store. Not long after, the family grew once more with the arrival of another baby girl, 4-year-old Elena Jai, affectionately nicknamed Bubbles because of her bright, bubbly personality that could light up any room. With 3 beautiful daughters, Aurora, Ava, and Elena, the Payne household was full of laughter, love, and the joyful chaos that comes with raising young children. Briana and Robert were committed to creating a happy, nurturing home, pouring their hearts into their roles as parents despite life's challenges. Briana and Robert wanted to give their daughters the best life possible, one filled with love, support, and stability. To make that dream a reality, they worked hard, often taking on extra responsibilities. Briana, who had a natural gift for caring for others, started working as a caregiver at Sarah Lee's in-home care. Her kindness, dedication, and selflessness shone through in her work, especially as she also served as the primary caregiver for her mother, Lily Parker Owens, whom she cared for with warmth and unwavering devotion. In addition to her caregiving role, Briana was deeply involved in her daughter's education. She volunteered as the secretary for the parent-teacher organization at Virgil I. Bailey Elementary School, where all 3 of her children attended. She was well loved by the school community, known for her bright smile and active involvement in making the school a positive space for students and parents alike. But just when it seemed like her life was picture perfect, nothing could have prepared Briana for what was to come. While on the outside, Briana and Robert's relationship appeared heavenly, the reality was far from perfect. Allegedly, the couple began experiencing frequent arguments and misunderstandings. As time went on, Robert's behavior grew increasingly troubling. His possessiveness, subtle at first, became more apparent, and his sudden mood swings hinted at deeper, unresolved issues. Neighbors described the family as kind, warm, and friendly. The children were often seen outside playing, laughing, and enjoying life, just typical kids who radiate happiness. What seemed like random bursts of frustration for Robert were in fact warning signs of something far more serious. Despite her best efforts to keep the peace and make sense of their constant fights, Briana had no idea what was truly brewing beneath the surface with Robert. But nothing in Briana's life meant more to her than her girls. These 3 little girls were her heart, her soul, and her reason for everything she did. Briana lived for her daughters, always striving to give them a happy, secure, and loving home. Her fierce devotion as a mother defined her, and she poured her heart and soul into making her family's life as joyful as possible. The 3 young girls were each special in their own unique way, and Briana's world revolved around them. She is remembered as a woman who loved deeply, whose infectious laughter filled every room she entered. Her daughters were lovingly described as little tornadoes because of the whirlwind energy and light they brought wherever they went. Together, these beautiful, caring, funny, and generous little girls reflected everything that was wonderful about Briana: her spirit, her kindness, and the joy she spread to those around her. But on February 21, 2025, everything changed. At around 2:45 p.m., a concerned neighbor dialed 911 to request a wellness check after feeling uneasy upon noticing something unusual about the Payne's family living next door. For days, they had noticed that the family's cars in the driveway hadn't moved, which was really odd, since they usually go out every day. But something else felt off. What truly unsettled the neighbor was the silence inside the home. How can a family with 3 young children not be somewhat noisy?
I knew there was something weird because the cars weren't moved, and they go every day.
Police say they were called to the home for a welfare check around 2:45 Friday afternoon after getting a search warrant.
When police arrived at the family's residence at 1234 Main St. and knocked on the door, they received no response, which made them increasingly worried. They decided to obtain a search warrant, and once they finally entered the home, what they found would haunt them for a long time. Inside the home, officers made a heartbreaking discovery of the bodies of Briana Payne, Robert Payne, and their 3 young daughters: 7-year-old Aurora Tatiana Payne, 6-year-old Ava Denise Payne, and 4-year-old Elena Jai Payne. Upon closer inspection, police discovered the devastating truth: all 5 family members had been fatally shot.
A welfare check turned into a death investigation after 5 people were found unresponsive at a home in Lake Station, Indiana.
Judy's live there now with the latest for us. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning. The discovery was made after Lake Station officers conducted that well-being check. They found 5 people dead inside a mobile home. In a preliminary statement, police say they believe this was an isolated incident. Police obtained a search warrant and then went to the home Friday afternoon. This is in the 6700 block of 9th Avenue in the Massards Mobile Home Park.
However, what they uncovered next was even more chilling. Their investigation revealed that Robert Payne had tragically pulled the trigger on his wife and children before turning the gun on himself in a shocking twist. The scene was one of unspeakable sorrow, leaving friends, family, and neighbors struggling to comprehend how a family that, on the surface, had seemed so full of life, love, and promise, could meet such a heartbreaking and tragic end. Investigators believe that escalating domestic tensions had finally reached a breaking point, leading to this unimaginable tragedy. The signs of growing conflict in the Payne household, once unnoticed by those around them, now became a tragic narrative of despair and heartbreak. In the aftermath, investigators worked tirelessly to piece together the final hours of the Payne family, hoping to uncover answers to explain what could have driven Robert to commit such a devastating act. As they dug deeper, what had initially seemed like an inexplicable tragedy began to reveal disturbing clues. Interviews with neighbors revealed troubling signs in the days leading up to the tragedy. What was once a peaceful home had, allegedly, according to several accounts, become filled with tension. One neighbor recalled hearing frequent arguments between Briana and Robert in the days before the incident, and with time, the arguments had grown louder and more frequent.
We begin with breaking news here at 5 from Lake Station, Indiana, just east of Gary. New disturbing details on the family of 5 found dead inside a home. Asal Reside brings us the latest from the mobile home park where it happened.
Devastating details from the Lake County Coroner's Office. We've learned the children that were found dead inside of this home were just 4, 6, and 7 years old. Neighbors here telling me they're shocked to learn the entire family is now gone.
Sandy Goodman says she's lived next door to the family for the last 5 years.
They were arguing a lot for the last few days.
She tells me she could barely sleep last night, thinking about how terrified the little girls must have been in their final moments.
And those little girls were just so full of joy and happiness and playing, and they were just awesome.
Although the children remained joyful and often played outside, neighbors noticed that the atmosphere inside the home had shifted. Robert, who had once seemed like a doting father and partner, allegedly began displaying controlling behavior, isolating Briana from friends and family. The normally active household became unusually quiet. Neighbors began noticing small, troubling details, like the cars remaining parked in the same spot for days and the absence of the girls playing outside. Loved ones described his actions as emotionally harmful, though there were no documented reports of physical abuse in the home. Those close to Briana revealed that the emotional strain had reached a breaking point.
Catherine Presley employed Bree at her childcare facility several years ago, and the 3 girls also attended there. Presley says the 2 parted ways in 2022, she says because of Bree's relationship with her husband.
Anybody who would get close to her and the kids, he wanted to create isolation. We all knew that there were red flags.
Owen says just days before Bree was killed, she had told her husband she was planning to file for divorce.
Anybody suffering from mental illness, or if you have family members with mental illness, please get help. Please get help. Don't do this to anybody else.
Owen says if sharing their story saves even one family, it'll help give her daughter's life and her granddaughter's lives meaning.
Overwhelmed by the situation and desperate for a fresh start, Briana had allegedly confided in loved ones that she was considering divorce. Even as these thoughts weighed on her, the tension was evident to everyone who cared for her. Briana's mother, Lily Parker Owens, was painfully aware of the growing tension between her daughter and son-in-law. She had tried to intervene, speaking with Robert in hopes of helping them resolve their differences. Lily cared deeply for both Briana and Robert and wanted nothing more than her daughter's happiness. Briana had confided in her mother, expressing that she wanted out of the marriage, but tragically, Robert was unable to cope with the idea of their relationship coming to an end. As emotions in the Payne household escalated, the strain became increasingly evident, and on that Wednesday in February, the tension reached its devastating peak, and so he made a decision to end it all. Lily described her daughter as a devoted mother who was always by her children's side. She was known for her generosity, often going out of her way to help others, anytime and anywhere. Briana's warmth and selflessness had touched many, and her sudden silence felt profoundly out of character. But no one could have imagined the heartbreak that would soon be uncovered behind the closed doors of the Payne home. She went on to express her grief, saying that losing her daughter felt like she lost a piece of her heart. Briana had been a shining light, an amazing woman known for her genuine spirit. Her love and patience with her 3 daughters were cherished by those who knew her. She gave them the best of herself, raising them with endless love and unwavering devotion. The heartbreaking loss of the entire Payne family left the tight-knit community in shock and disbelief. Although Robert had struggled with the idea of divorce, no one ever imagined he would take things to such a tragic and fatal level. The couple had no history of domestic violence calls, leaving authorities and loved ones searching for answers as to what could have driven him to such a devastating act. In the wake of the tragedy, the Lake Station community rallied together to support Briana Payne's surviving family. A heartfelt GoFundMe campaign was launched to help cover funeral expenses and offer financial relief during this devastating time. Neighbors, friends, and even strangers contributed donations and left messages of love and sympathy, describing Briana as a kind soul whose love knew no bounds. The overwhelming outpouring of support reflected the deep impact Briana and her daughters had on those around them. Local leaders, neighbors, and friends held vigils and memorials in their honor, lighting candles, sharing memories, and mourning a loss that had shaken their tight-knit town to its core. People shared how her girls, Aurora, Ava, and Elena, were her heart and soul, the very center of her world. They were her reason for everything, one message read. Her legacy of endless love, warmth, laughter, and fierce devotion as a mother will never be forgotten. Whether she was spending time with friends, caring for her children, or simply going about her day, Briana's warmth and positivity were undeniable. While the loss is immeasurable, Briana's spirit, her love for her daughters, and the joy she brought to so many will continue to live on in the hearts of all who knew her. For those left behind, her memory and that of her baby girls will remain a beacon of love, even amid unimaginable grief. The horrifying case of Briana Payne reveals how devastating unresolved domestic tensions can become. It underscores the importance of addressing emotional struggles and seeking help before conflicts spiral beyond repair. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.